I'm Jon Gilbert, I'm a documentary sound recordist, and today, Buddy and I are going to show you some tips and tricks about how to hide DPA mics and get it right first time. This is one of the most basic mounts going, and it's reliable, really easy to get right. And it works on shirts, polo shirts like this, normal shirts like mine, smart shirts. It's the shirt mount. And you can see we've brought the mic up and out through there. And I like to use one of these bubble bee mounts. The rubberized finish on them seems to give a bit of a shock mount. Seems to make them a bit more durable. And I use a Sticky-O, Ryco Advanced Sticky-O, and a Ryco overcover. And that's your wind cover. And then we use a normal sticky. Which is what we'll mount to the shirt with, and stick that on the flat side of the bubble bee. Pull your slack cable out. And it just goes in like that. And you can see there's some fibres there sticking out. Never be afraid to customise things and make them work the way you want them to work. There we go. Shirt mount. This is the tie mount, and it's really useful when you're dealing with people wearing suits and starched shirts, and there's no space, there's no dead air to get the mic in the shirt where you'd normally put it in somewhere down there. So you stick it in the tie, get it physically away from the noise. And it's really easy to hide the cable here. Through the knot. And then I usually use an Ursa mount for these because they're really shiny and slippery and you don't get any handling noise of the tie knot on the mount. And that's probably why I'd also not use any wind protection on this if I could get away with it, just to try and keep it as quiet as possible. You only need half an advanced square sticky. And it's got to be pointing down, that's really important. Because otherwise you get the weird sound. If a mic's too close to the throat, it just sounds wrong. They're not supposed to be there. So get it a bit of distance away from the body with it being in the knot, pointing down, perfect. And then you need to do a bit of tidying up, smarten him up. This is where you get paid for being a wardrobe assistant as well as sound recordist. And there you go, tie knot, it works, it's brilliant. This is a really simple technique, but it's quite important to know why you're doing what you're doing. With jumpers like this, it's really easy to get a bulge and you can spot it a mile off. So if you put the mic in the right place, that won't happen. So we use an overcover and a Sticky-O for your wind protection. And then just a normal sticky. And then if you use the neckline, you see there's a thicker fabric there. We use that to hide the lump of the mic, so it's just stuck there, pointing up towards the mouth, but it's more or less invisible. This is a woolly hat mount, and it's a really good one in winter when you're dealing with talent or contributors who are wearing a lot of outdoor clothing and it's rustly and you can't get a good clean sound. Get the mic away from the noise into the hat. So it's really simple. Just a little piece of sticky there, or tape. If you haven't got stickies, you can use tape. So this at the business end, this is where you do need your Ryco stuff. You use a sticky to hold the mic down, but there's plenty of wind protection coming from the hat, so it's odds on that that's going to be enough. Then you put a undercover there to stop that sticking to your contributor's head. And on. And the mic's right at the front, it stays there. Any head turns, you're going to be on mic all the time and it's going to sound great. And of course you can do the same with a baseball cap or any hat. This is an interesting mount. This is using the DPA 6060, which is a 3mm Subminiature capsule, and you can see it's absolutely tiny. And you can hide it in plain sight. If you're lucky enough to be somewhere where you don't need any wind protection, maybe you're doing a studio shoot, there's these new paintable caps. They're white paintable caps. So you see, we'll have it just poking out the buttonhole there. Half a sticky, just to keep it in place, just to keep the cable in place. Like so. And this is the really neat trick. If you've got the right colour Sharpie, and you will have, you can just colour it in. And that's hiding in plain sight. No one's ever going to spot that on the screen.